This week on TGC News, new lights, new guns, and the first ever GOA convention. Welcome back to another episode of the Gun Collective News. I'm John Patton, and I want you to name this gun down in the comments. Also, I have an event announcement for you guys. I will be at the GOA Goals Convention in Knoxville, Tennessee, along with a bunch of my other content creator friends, a bunch of brands, a whole bunch of cool people, and I'd love to see you there. I will be doing some MC work, as well as jumping on a panel at some point. August 17th and 18th are the dates, so get your crap together, come hang out. GOA members get in for free. It's going to be rad. See you there. Now, the news. There is a rumor about Adams Arms closing their door, which I've been asked about, like 100 times. However, I haven't been able to find any real info besides things like, my buddy worked there and got laid off. Nobody has sent me like official letters or anything saying that they've closed their doors. It wouldn't surprise me if they closed, but let's give it some time to see if that's true. They haven't posted anything on social media in a while besides some really aggressive sales, and their web store says under maintenance, and apparently you can't contact them. Anyone from Adams Arms, feel free to jump in the comments, squash those rumors if they're not true, or tell us if it's true. It's kind of weird to just like leave it out there. I don't know. Moving on, Veridian is expanding their weapon-mounted light lineup with the 4Lux 2K and 2K Duo. The Duo has both a light and laser, it's a green laser, and the 2K is just a light. They are angle foregrips that have a 2060 lumen light rated at 220,000 candela and a claimed effective range of 725 yards. They also claim 90 minutes of runtime on a single charge. That candela output, if true, is pretty wild. I'm not a lighting expert at all. I'm not, so I won't weigh in on this one, besides the fact that it looks somewhat similar to the Crimson Trace rig. MSRP here is $234, just a light, and $260 if you want the green laser. You know who else makes some useful stuff? This week's sponsor, Woox. Woox offers everything from rifle chassis to furniture for your 12 gauge, all with a big helping of beautifully finished, ultra stylish wood. They just released this new Super Leggera, aka Super Light stock for your Remington 700, Howa 1500, Tikka T3, and more. I'm planning to use it as the base for a lightweight long-action hunting rifle. Thanks again to Woox for supporting the Gun Collective. Next up this week is a whole line of 75th anniversary guns from HK. First, we have the Flecktarn version of the MR556 and MR762, both with 500 each being made. There's also the same thing in what's called Tropentarn camo, which is more like a high desert looking thing. Those rifles, while really heavy, are supposed to be pretty rad. I mean, Brownell's made a clone of the 556, so it's got to be pretty good, right? And then you have the VP9 setup. There is a 2-pistol set with both Flecktarn and Tropentarn camos again, and there will only be 1,000 of those sets made, and you won't be able to buy them separately. These camo patterns are currently in use by German armed forces, and that's pretty neat. I kind of want some. I especially lean on the VP9 setup. I want to know if you guys want this down in the comments. Curious to see what you guys think. Also in the news this week is a new takedown lever gun from Bighorn Armory. It's a version of their Model 89, which is chambered in 500 Magnum. I bought one of these things several years ago. I believe I was the first to ever get one with a threaded barrel. I waited 2 years to get it. Super cool gun. Anyway, this will come with an 18-inch barrel, a black metal finish, and a standard walnut furniture setup. And that takedown joint is apparently a modernized version of one patented by John Browning in 1905. It had to be modernized to take the recoil of that 500 Magnum, right? That's substantial. MSRP here is $4,000. That is not cheap. If the quality is the same as my gun back there, it might be worth it. The only issue I've ever had is the rear sight just yeeting itself off under recoil. I had them put a pick rail on for Red Dot to just solve that issue. 500 Magnum from a rifle is a brutal setup for hunting at short range. Sorry, I get kind of excited about that one. We have another new one from Smith & Wesson this week. It's actually one that got sort of leaked a while back. It was printed in a magazine back in March. Somebody the bed on that one long before the gun ever got released. Long story shorter, this is a new Bodyguard 2.0. It is the next evolution of one of their most popular but worst guns they ever built. Yeah, that thing was junk. The old one was absolute junk. This new one seems to solve all the issues. It's chambered in 380 ACP, has a 2.75-inch barrel, 10-round flush fit, and 12-round extendo mag, and really aggressive slide serrations. The old gun was difficult for people with less strength to rack, so this should help that. There's also a new flat-face trigger on here for the striker firing system. The hammer fire setup from the old one with the garbage trigger is gone. It also comes standard with a tritium front sight, which is nice. What I didn't realize is that this is a tiny gun. I thought it was a Shield competitor in 380, like why would you even make this? But it's actually smaller than that. You can see that a bit better in this image comparing the new Shield Plus carry comp with the Bodyguard 2.0. Now, I'll say right now that this gun is probably not for me because I prefer larger guns, but for a 380 micro setup and for people that like to pocket carry or something like that, this is pretty sweet looking. MSRP is only $50 more than the previous gen at $450. I would love to hear what you guys think of this one down in the comments, because I don't know, like, do you pocket carry? Do you appendix? Like, is a tiny little gun really what you want, or do you want something with a little more? I don't know. And remember I said last week that I needed your help with GunCon? I was asking for good locations for GunCon next year. The amount of people that just flat out ignored my request for it being in the northern half of the country is actually kind of funny. People were just like, I don't care what you said, do it near my house. like f what you said. That said, I'm still open to suggestions. I need a big outdoor range within an hour of a major airport, and I can't believe I have to say this, but it has to be in a pro-gun state. I had a few suggestions for non-gun friendly places. Now, I think once I find that range location, I'll be able to figure out the rest. Again, it needs to be a large outdoor range capable of hosting roughly 50 companies, plus about 400 to 500 people total and parking and all that. Thanks for the assist, guys. Leave those down in the comments.